Well, I'll be real brief in my opening statement, answer your question, but two words come to mind when I think about this win, and that is I think it was workmanlike. It's kind of a workmanlike win. And the other thing is it was a great team win. I mean, our bench gave us great minutes, I think 38 points off our bench. Some guys really stepped up. So it was a team win. It was a workmanlike win. It wasn't a real pretty win. But I think Arizona State had a lot to do with that. You know, their backs are against the wall a little bit. And they've got seniors, too, that are coming down the stretch, and they're coming down the stretch run just like we are, and they want to win just like we want to win. So Arizona State, I thought, was much better certainly today than they were the other night against Utah. So, but workmanlike and good team victory.
Coach, you look at some of these numbers. You guys shot the ball well. You out-rebounded them. You kept your turnovers low, but you weren't able to shake them. Was it a matter of them making good shots, or making more shots than normal, or something lacking on defense?
Well, we weren't great defensively. We had some breakdowns, certainly in our ball screen defense and our rotations. And so part of it was us, and part of it was they made some tough shots. You know, Aleka hit, a three. We had a 9-point lead. I think they had 12 seconds in the shot clock. They came out and ran a play, and Wes was right there shaking hands with him. Aleka just made a great shot, cut it to 6. We just couldn't shake him because they got good players too. And I think their guard play, Trey Holder's a good player, Cody Justice is a good player. Jerry Blake's had 15 at halftime. We did a great job on him in the second half. But so part of it was Arizona State, and part of it was Colorado not, doing what we're supposed to do, a combination of both.
You guys were one last second shot away from a perfect record at home this season. I know that loss is one that always seems to come back in whatever fashion, but what will you remember from this campaign in this building?
Well, I think for the most part, other than that Utah win, just how consistent our team has been, playing in this building. And we always haven't played well, but we've usually played with pretty good energy and effort. And I think we've been a consistently good home team. And now that's something that we have to get better at on the road. And we're not the only team that can say that in college basketball. But I talked to the team, I think, and Troy, you correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is the third team in school history to have 21 regular season wins, okay? So we're one of three teams to ever won 21 regular season games. And you'd think at points this season that we were, 5 games under 500, the way fans react and people feel about these guys. And we're one of 3 teams. We got an opportunity to be the only team to get 22 regular season wins. Now we have to go do it on the road against a really good Utah team, but this team could be the winningest regular season team in the history of Colorado. Pretty special. Pretty special.
Coach, you still have a few more games with them, but today was about honoring the seniors. Did you feel that the fans and everything around the senior day was adequate to send off Josh Scott and was able to talk?
Absolutely, yeah. The energy, and we got to give our fans a little bit more reason to cheer, and again, you do that by getting stops and getting out in transition, getting some dunks, making some threes. We did that. Our crowd got into the game tonight in the second half on defense, really gave us some energy. So it wasn't the most energetic, crowd or the most energetic team that I've ever seen. But again, I think a lot of that has to do with Wednesday night and a little bit of a hangover. But overall, I was really pleased with senior day for those 4 kids to win. And I'm glad Eli and Brett got a chance to get in at the end. I would have liked to have gotten them in earlier. But 4 really special young men, each in their own way.
You said on the court after the game that you couldn't talk about Josh Scott because you might get a little emotional.
Yes.
In this moderately less emotional setting, do you have anything that you would
Well, all I'm going to say, if you want to see Tad Boyle get emotional, come to our banquet. And I'll cry like a little baby because and I'm going to tell a story there that I'd like to tell right now, but I'm not. But Josh is not only is he special to me and our staff and his teammates and this he's just special to the state of Colorado. I mean, he's a kid's a stud. I mean, I keep looking for other things to, adjectives to describe him, but and he's not perfect, but he's the kind of guy you want your son to grow up to be, and he's a hell of a player to boot.
Josh and XT challenged each other not to cry. Did they issue that same challenge to you?
No, they know their coach is a heck of a lot more emotional than they are. So they didn't. I held it together pretty good. I told his mom and Josh, when they were introduced before the game, I said, I'm not going to cry tonight, but I will at our banquet. I know I won't be able to hold it together. But listen, we've got a lot of basketball to be played, and we've got, this is the fun part of the season as you come down the stretch. One more regular season game, conference tournament, postseason play. We've got room for improvement. We can get better than the way we play today. So, but I love this team. I've said it from day one. I love what they're about. And those 4 seniors, if there's one thing they all have in common, it's a high degree of character. They're great kids with high character.
Josh mentioned something about Eli and Brett potentially having the chance to start quickly early in the game, but them turning it down, the best interest of the team.
Yeah, I mean, it's something we talked about, but it's, we wanted to approach this game. Again, it's senior night, emotions are going on. We wanted to approach this game like it was a regular game and didn't want to do anything like that, so we didn't.
Coach, it's a couple games in a row where Josh Fortune has shot the ball well and kept his turnovers low. Has there been any particular adjustment on his part that's kind of sparked this turnaround?
Well, one of the things, Josh and I talked about, and our staff talked to Josh about, is just making the game simple. Take what they give you. When you're open, shoot it. When you're not, pass it or put it on the floor and attack the basket. But don't try to over-create and just make the simple play. And he's been doing a very, very good job of that. And we want him to shoot when he's open. You talk about an efficient line, but 6 for 8 from the field, 4 assists, no turnovers. That's the Josh Fortune that can be a really, really big asset to this team as we head down the stretch.
Coach, Josh mentioned something about some payback against Utah in this next game after you guys lost here in Coors. Do you kind of feel the same way?
Well, look, it's not about revenge or payback, but look, we're 16-1, and the one game we lost was Utah. They came in here and spoiled our undefeated season at home. We've got an opportunity to play them at their place, and we'd love to return the favor. I mean, I've got a lot of respect for Utah. They're playing very well right now. Larry's done a great job with that program. They've got a good big man in the middle. We've got a good big man in the middle. Should be a good game. They're playing better maybe than we are right now if you look over the last 6 to 8 games, but it's a team I think we match up with well and should be a heck of a game. At least we want to make it one.
Another guy that I feel like had a good homestand was Don Collier. He didn't shoot the ball well the other night, but I thought he had a great defensive game. Tonight, hit a couple big shots, 5 assists. Obviously, he's coming off a rough stretch, had a couple bad games in L.A., but a few times this year he's had bad stretches and been able to turn it around. What's that say about his mental toughness or his ability to adjust or whatever it is that he can get back going?
Yeah, I think it speaks a lot to his resiliency and his mental toughness. And, the one thing we know by playing inside out, which we're doing a very good job of now, is Josh and Wes and Torrey, those guys are going to demand attention in the paint when they catch it. And when they're getting double teamed, they're digging the ball out of the post, and we kick it back out, we need guys to step up and make shots. I thought, the first 3 to start the half when we played inside out, and Josh, we posted Josh, and he kicked it out to Dom. He made it 3. It's just like, okay. And we did it, I think, a couple times down later. George King, really, really big shots to kind of get us going. And we talked about aggressiveness and confidence offensively, and that's what we need Dom to do is play with aggressiveness, play with confidence. And when he does that, he's pretty good.
George and all these people doing things. Are you guys starting to hit that peak at the right time as you're going into this?
I feel we are. If you look at the last 2 games, I feel like we are. If you asked me after UCLA, I'd say no. It's just so, again, our challenge is to take it away. The one thing we know, I shouldn't say we know 100%, but most likely we're not going to be playing again in the Coors Events Center this year. That's the fact. So we've got to win how many ever games we can win the rest of the season away from home. And that might be on the road, certainly on a neutral court, and that's the challenge. So, and we got one true road game we know ahead of us, and that's Utah, next Saturday. So we're going to get ourselves rested up mentally, physically, emotionally, and then have a good week of practice and hopefully go tussle with the Utes. Thank you.